everyone, thanks for dropping by again to my channel. I've just decided today to show you how I make a quick card using paper scraps. So this is the card that I've made before, and I've just had an embossing folder. It's not a particularly Christmas style embossing folder, and then I've used an assortment of strips of paper scraps. So I'll show you how to make a card like this, try and keep it quite quick, and I'm sure you all have, like me, lots of embossing folders. So this is a Spellbinders Embossabilities, and it's a double-sided one, so not particularly Christmassy at all. What I'm going to do, just to make it a little bit different, is I'm going to use my brayer. So I've just got a speedball brayer, I've got my craft sheet, and I'm also going to use some metallic paint. Now this is just a children's Crayola paint, so it doesn't have to be anything fancy at all. I've tried using inks, Distress Oxides work really well. The paints work really well, the Distress inks. So what I'd suggest is that you just have a play. What I have found is some patterns work better than others, so it really is just to have a go and see what you like. So previously I've done one, and I've used the this sort of pattern, and I've put I don't know if you can see that. It's a metallic silver, but I'll just show you quickly what I do with the gold. So I've got some Centura pearl cardstock. I like the effect that you get with the ink in the background and the shiny surface, and I'm going to actually use this zigzag pattern today to show you. So I've cut a piece of card, and that is just slightly smaller than my card base that I've made, and it's just an A6 size card base, so fairly standard. That is going to go into my embossing folder, and you've got to decide which pattern you want for the for the ink where the paint is going to go. So I think I'm going to put the paint on this side. So I'm going to put my card on the opposite side to start with. I'm just using my Fix-It tape runner, because if you need to run it through your machine a couple of times, it's easier if you've adhered the card first so it doesn't slip, and then you can go back and redo the pattern. So I'm just going to fasten that lightly. The Fix-It or tape runner, it's just enough to hold it in place, but it's not going to be there permanently. So I'll just take my metallic paint, and this is, like I said, it's just a cheap children's metallic paint. I just put some on my craft sheet like that. You don't need too much. I put that to one side, and I get my brayer, and I just want to make sure that that is nice and smooth. There's no blobs of paint. You don't want any blobs of paint going down into the grooves of your embossing folder. I'm going to take that and just run it along the pattern. Keep picking up the ink. Make sure that you've got plenty on, and it's a good even coverage. Just do it like that. That should be enough. So I don't know if you can see, I've got gold paint now on the raised part. So I'll just quickly run that through my shot. Okay, so if I take that and show you, you can just see the gold metallic paint has been pushed into the debossed areas. Now if you want it to be a stronger colour, you just go back in, apply some more of the paint without moving your piece that you're working on, like so, and I'll just carefully close that back down, run it back through the machine, and here again this is what it looks like. So I will put that to one side and let that dry. So what I will use for today is obviously a piece that I've already made. And all I've done with this, I've used the other pattern on the reverse of that embossing folder. What I have also done, I'm going to have my card like this. So I have put a cut in it and it's going to sit like this. The other thing that I've done is I've just fastened some plain card just on the back of it, and that will raise it up slightly. You can use tape, foam tape, or 3D glue gel. It's completely up to you. I like to reuse packaging, as I think I've already said. That's going to sit there. And then I also have a piece of card exactly the same width as my top panel, and that is going to sit just behind like so. But what I need to do now is decorate that. So I keep everything. I am terrible at throwing things away. So I tend to keep things, all strips, paper strips. So I've got a selection of paper strips here. These are all from one of the Crafty cards collections. So I tend to keep them in families of colours or themes. So as you can see, lots of different thicknesses, widths, sorry. I've got some metallic gold, because gold is my, going to have gold sequins. I've got some card that I've coloured up with my pro markers, and it's all in similar tones. So the next part to this card is I'm just going to create the decorated panel. It's really, really easy, but it's great for using up your leftovers and waste. I've got, it's a Nouveau glue pen. I just find these are really easy to use for this because it's quite a quick. And I'm just going to put some glue on my piece, and this is going to be the panel in the back, and very easily stick my strips. Okay, you don't have to be precise, and I just put random strips that I like and put them up against each other. Make sure you've got no gaps. You want it to be quite a smooth look, and I just continue to do that for the entire piece. Put some gold. It's quite nice if you've got some textured card as well. So this gold has got like a linen texture to it. I'm going to put that on, and it's all I'm doing is covering that panel with leftovers, things that I would have normally thrown away. So do that. It's nice as well to have lots of random or different widths, you know, try and mix it up a little bit. You don't want it to be completely even, and it just adds a bit of variety, I suppose, to the card. So I put one a little thicker there. Okay. Put some gold. I've also added previously strips of embossed card that I've cut off, so anything, don't waste anything at all, and you can get a really nice effect, even mixing up the colours as well. And I think this would work equally well, for non-Christmas cards. So like I say, I don't like throwing things away, and it's really good to have a different use for all of these strips. So just carry on doing this. You can't go wrong really with this. I put a bit of black, a little bit more glue, and I put another piece of gold there. And you just want to make sure that the whole piece that you're working on is covered. So I'm going to put this here. Doesn't matter too much that it's too wide, and make sure that's all pressed down well. And then I'm just going to take a pair of scissors and carefully trim. So I'll turn it over and I'm just going to trim off all of these pieces here. Doesn't have to be perfect, and I'll probably get another card out of that as well. Okay. Obviously some of the tiny pieces I will throw away. I'm not that tight. So that's my panel there, and I think that looks really effective. So bring in my card blank that I've made. The first thing I need to do is roughly work out where it's going to sit. So I want it to be central on my card, the panel with the split. So it's going to be like that, and then I'm going to put it that way up because they have the numbers on one of the pieces of paper. So that's going to sit like so. So the first thing I'm going to do is stick down my piece that's going to be underneath. I'll just get my glue, and it's a really quick card. I think it's really simple. Doesn't have to be Christmas. I like the look. And that's going to go roughly there. I just need to bring that in to check. So it needs to be slightly higher. You just want to make sure that your cutout piece is covering. That's it. Perfect. And I want it to be square as well. Just make that a little bit better. Okay. So then the bottom section, like I said, I've mounted that on with some card. I just put some glue, and it really is a quick card. And you can definitely do a batch of these. You could create a long strip. If you were going to make a few of them, I would probably do a long piece and just carry on putting the waist on it. But for ease of today, I just thought I'll show you using a ready sized piece. Just put my glue like that. Oops. And that's going to sit there. I just need to make sure that's lined up. Obviously don't want it poking out. I want it square. Okay, and I'll just make sure that that is dry. So I'll turn that over while I do the sentiment and just put something heavy to weight it down. I've just got a little Christmas sentiment, really plain, and all I'm going to do with this is add some red distressing just to colour it up. Red's my like one of the key colours of this, red and gold. I'll just put this. Okay. Really quick and easy. I'll just get a piece of tissue. The other thing I want to do is I want to raise that up ever so slightly. So I'm just going to take a piece of scrap card again. And I tend to keep like packaging from boxes. It doesn't have to be too thick, you just want a little bit of dimension. So I've got a little piece here, and this is actually the back of an 8x8 paper pad. It's just perfect really. I think sometimes if you use anything that's too thick, it can look a bit strange, but I do use packaging from boxes as well. It just depends on the look that you're going for. It's going to sit there. Just make sure that's glued. Okay, I'll take my card, and that is just going to sit at the bottom. I'll use my tacky glue. This, a few drops. Get my tweezers so I don't get all sticky, and I'm going to place that towards the bottom, so keeping it a very clean and simple looking card. The only thing that I will probably do as well is I'll add some sequins, just randomly dot them around, and I've got some little red gems as well, so I will add those. So put them on there, and I've got some little red gems, and again I will dot these just for that little bit of sparkle. Oops. Okay. And I'll glue those on. Okay, so that's basically the card. Really quick, uses up so many strips. Bring you the one that I've done before. This was the one that I did. It's actually got some white heat embossing on some card, different papers again. I've also done a one with blue tones, or blues and greens and silver. So, and then finally, the one that I was also had a go at, I've done same thing, same approach. I've just cut some star apertures, so it's got a layer of this is the Craftwork Cards Frozen Forest. It was a leftover strip. Matted that onto silver, and I've double cut so you can see the border round. And I've done exactly the same thing. I've drawn round the star shapes on my actual card base, and I've stuck strips of paper from the same collection over the top, bit of sentiment and some sparkle. That's it for today. Thanks for joining me. I hope you liked it, and if you liked it, please let me know, and I would love to see what you make using the same technique. Thanks very much. Bye.